Podcast power. Y'all make sure to go over there and check out Real Talk on musicloveawards.com and vote for their podcast to be number one podcast. Make sure y'all go help them win that award. Let's go. musiclovesaward.com. Make sure you vote for Real Talk Podcast. Okay? Y'all heard me. All right, let's get.
Hello, I'm Author Nikki Nicole from the Breaking the Silence podcast, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about one of my favorite podcasts out there, Real Talk Monday. It airs at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's on Pandora, Spotify, YouTube, and so many more platforms. If you're looking for a real conversation from a godly perspective, with a little twist to it to get you to thinking, tune in on Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time.
Look, my bad. Look, my bad. I was trying to break
That's
us
how
up.
you know you tired, and it's time to wrap this season up, baby, because you is tired.
Look, I was trying to break us up. That was my fault. What is up, everyone? It is another day, another time, and another week for your favorite Monday night show. And I'm not talking about Monday Night Football. I'm talking about Real Talk Monday, y'all. Come on. And we in the season finale of it too. Yes. Yeah, as y'all can clearly see, I need that break because the brother didn't even know how to bring nobody up.
That part.
Like, what? But we have a great episode planned for you all tonight. We are wrapping up our topic on healing before your next chapter. We have a great discussion. We had a guest, but something happened. So but one thing about Sarah and I, and Travis and I, we're gonna just roll with the punches. We're gonna roll with it, and we're gonna keep it rolling. So one thing that we're gonna do is just keep it moving, keep it pushing, and give y'all the best show that we can. So after this brief interlude in my Sarah Renee voice, we're gonna give you our topic for tonight. Let's hit it. And if y'all have any questions, y'all can put them in the comments. Let's go. Yes, so we ready, y'all. We ready. So, Sarah, let's tell them what we're talking about tonight.
Tonight, we are talking about our personal journeys of healing before our next chapter. So this should be interesting, y'all.
Right. It's going to be real interesting, but let's get into it. So I'll let you kick it off.
Of course, you're going to start with me first.
Exactly.
Sure.
Exactly. Right.
Okay.
I mean, you said it. I'm Michael. Come on.
What does healing mean to you personally?
Healing means if, hey, Carla, hey, Nikki, how you doing, sis? But a healing to me means being whole, being better, being well. You know, when we go into marriage or when we go into a relationship, oftentimes I'm hearing people say those magic words of this person is my better half. No, ain't no better half no more. Like, you both ought to be whole already. You ought to be two whole people coming together to make one so that y'all can be one together and be a power couple together. I'm coming as a whole person, you coming as a whole person. Let's run this out together.
In your words.
What about you?
In your words, I can agree with that.
So we're going there with it. We're going there with it tonight.
But healing for me means freedom. Freedom from anything that has had you bound in a previous situation. Healing is peace. Healing is growth. Healing is just something that is necessary, because things look different when you're healed as opposed to when you're bound by it. So healing for me is everything.
I can agree with that. But yeah, it's definitely everything, because you got to be healed before you go into your next, for sure. It's got to be. You cannot come into a situation bringing past baggage in with you, because if you do that, you're dooming your situation from the beginning.
Absolutely. It's like what you was talking about. Well, what we was talking about on the phone, but you talked about on Motivational Monday. Healing looks like empty hands, so you can receive whatever it is that God has for you. When you're not healed, it's like you're carrying those things, like you said, from past relationships or childhood or whatever traumas or whatever. And you can't receive what it is that you're going to receive while you're healed when you're not, because your hands are too full.
Right. It's like God has something big for you. And what your problem is you are looking at your past baggage. You're looking at what you've been through in your past. You're looking at everything that you've been through, and you're like, but I'm comfortable with this. I'm comfortable with this trauma. I'm comfortable with this drama because I've been dealing with it for so long. And God's like, but I want to give you so much more. I'm ready to bless you with an abundance. I'm ready to bless you with more. But you are comfortable with where you're at. So you got to find out, are you more comfortable with where you at, or are you wanting the more that God is trying to give you?
Yeah, because it's like, y'all know I'm a visual person. So it's like shoes that are comfortable for you. But sometimes when you outgrow those shoes, you got to get new ones, right? So it's like you have to be okay with the new ones, because the new ones might fit better than the old ones because you outgrew them. So like you were saying, when you are dealing with healing, it's very important that you take that seriously, because you don't know what's in store for you. But we get so comfortable in the lack, of what we have. And it's important to, be good stewards of what you have. But at the same time, you also have to want more, desire more, and know that there is more in store for you, and be okay with the upgrade.
Facts. Like, I'll give you an example. When I first started my job, right, she gonna come. Her visuals are like my scenarios. You're gonna get at least one an episode. At least one. At least one. And y'all, I know the screen is kind of jumping on my background, but can't figure it out right now, but we'll figure it out before next season. I promise y'all that. But it's kind of like with me. Like when I started my new job that I'm at now, about 3 years ago, I had some shoes that I absolutely loved. I loved them, and I wanted them because of the name that was on the shoes. They was Timberlands. Now, I wanted them because of that name. So what I ended up doing was I ended up buying them. They did not have my size. They did not have the size that I wanted in that shoe. So what I did was I went a whole 2 sizes smaller just to say that I had them. And when I put them on originally, oh yeah, those shoes was good. They was perfect. because I only had them on for about 5 minutes. They felt fine. Ma'am, Pop, I wore them shoes for 8 hours. I had to throw it in there. I wore them shoes for 8 hours. Ma'am, promise you, that next day, I was back at that place. Yo, I'm trading these in, and I'm getting another pair. And
That's so good that you said that, because while you were talking, I'm like, you said something, and I don't know if you caught what you said. You said you wanted to wear them because of the name. Like, do you know how many things we hold on to because of the name or the title that it is attached to? A lot of people, they want to hold on to a toxic relationship just to say my man. People want to hold on to a toxic relationship just to say they married. A lot of people want to hold on to a job because it has a certain higher epsilon, title,
right,
or whatever the case may be. But it's like that particular shoe wasn't meant for that environment. So yeah, you wanted the Timberlands because it was the name. However, maybe you might have needed some slip resistant shoes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because that was perfect for that environment. And we have to trust God to know that whatever he is removing and giving us, he's giving us that because in the next season or environment that we're going into, he's made it for a time such as that. So that was good that you said it. I like that, James.
Come on. And Nikki, I got you on a scenario tonight. I got you. It's season finale. So y'all know I got to throw a scenario in there. And I promise y'all this. Y'all have my word. Before the end of the show tonight, we're going to hear those famous words.
No, you won't.
Yeah, I promise you. Bet on it. I promise you we're going to hear those famous words.
Nope. You won't.
I'm going to make it real good, too. Y'all hearing her talking her stuff tonight, don't you? Talking about some, no, you won't. Yeah, all right. I promise you.
He said it, not me.
Y'all gonna get it from me tonight. So, okay, let's go to the next question. Next question that I got for us on tonight is share a traumatic experience that led to your own healing journey. Share a traumatic experience that led to your healing journey.
You want to go? Or you want me to go first?
I can. Me, it was, oh man. I think for me, what it was getting down to the point to where, like, I was at the lowest of the low at this point. And this happened a couple of weeks ago, in all honesty. Where, like, I was ready to throw in the towel. I was ready to give up. To be honest, y'all, if you read the status that was put on Reverend JC3 Studios a couple of weeks ago, I was done for a while. I was about to be done for a minute. And then it was like, God threw me the towel back and made me get back to work. Because I'm like, God, like, I can't get this right. Like, what is going on? Like, why can't I get this right? What's going on? And God's like, threw me that towel back, gave me the ones that I needed to help me along this process. And when I tell you, your circle matters, your circle matters. Nikki said this on Motivational Monday on this morning. Your circle matters. It matters who you surround yourself with. You know, there used to be an old saying, tell me who your friends are and I'll show you who you are. That is true. If you want to be a winner, surround yourself by winners, around winners. Surround yourself with people that ain't going to allow you to sell yourself short. And because I have those people in my life, I started back with therapy. I started going back to the gym. And what had happened was, in all honesty, I was pouring from an empty cup. I was running on E. I was running on E because I was running around ministering all over the place. I was running around going to these different services and doing what I was asked to do, but yet and still I wasn't taking no time to take care of me. So what I had to do was find out, what do I like? What does James like? Not what does Reverend Glover like to do? What does James like to do? And what I found out was get up early on Saturday mornings and hit that gym. Hit it for a couple of hours. I love getting there when there ain't nobody there. Hardly. Sarah, Nikki, they will tell you. I will be at that gym at 5 a.m., 6 a.m., just to be sure that like I can get it in. There's been plenty of times where I've been there early just because nobody else was there, no interruptions. Put my AirPod in, and I'm running it.
That made
So,
me think of like the like the Rocky movies where he
mm-hmm,
get weary and he have like the coaches and stuff in the background like cheering him on so he can get to the next round. That's exactly what that made me think of. Like that is the importance of having a good circle. So when you do get weary, you have those people that's cheering you on. You have those people that's telling you you can do another round. You have those people that's whispering those things in your ear to encourage you and not to discourage you, you know? So that's vital that you said that.
like I will say this. There was one that when I was at that lowest moment, she knew it. And like what she did was she stayed on that phone with me until I fell asleep. I kept telling her, I'm gonna be okay, I'm gonna be okay, I'm gonna be alright, I'm gonna be alright. Like, you can go on to sleep. She's like, I ain't going nowhere until you fall asleep. I'm not going nowhere until you fall asleep. And I'm like, why did you stay on that phone? She said, I wanted to make sure you were straight. She said, once you fell asleep, I knew, all right, he good. I can leave now. She said, but I wasn't leaving until you fell asleep.
I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna leave it alone. You know that person has a special place in my heart. But the experience for me, I want to say, was my last situation. That was a catalyst to my healing journey because I didn't even know um, that I was no longer a good actor until my son asked me. He was like, "Ma, you good?" My oldest, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine." That's what we say all the time. I'm fine. I'm fine. He was like, "Nah, no, you're not." He was like, you have a certain glow about you. You're bubbly. And he was like, I
Mm-hmm.
don't see that anymore. And I thought I was doing good, hiding and
Mm-hmm.
lying.
Dude, ooh,
But
we good at that.
not to him, not to him. And that's what kind of allowed me to create the podcast because I wanted everybody to have those experiences where they really tapped into um, being honest with themselves that they're not okay and realizing that Jesus and therapy goes hand in hand because in our community we are told that's
Just
for
pray
the
about it. Pray
other
about it.
that's for the other races. We don't do that. We just go to church. But sometimes God has quiet seasons where he's like, well, you have to study to show yourself approved. God gives us things for us to use, and we have to use the wisdom and utilize the tools that's given to us. So we really have to tap into our healing journeys. We really have to prioritize our mental health because, like you said, we'll just be pouring, and then we'll end up in the hospital somewhere because we didn't recharge, we didn't refuel. Even a car can't drive forever. They got to get gas again eventually. A phone got to be charged. So why you think you don't have to? You know what I mean?
Right. Let me put it like this. The A lot of times in the search community, we when COVID hit, it affected us big time because we wasn't allowed to come together and gather like we used to. And then when we was allowed to gather, we had to put on the mask to cover ourselves up. But and a lot of the ones in the church didn't want to wear the mask because of the fact of the way that it made them feel. What up, bro? What up? The way that it made them feel. But my thing on it is this. As church folks, we've been wearing that mask for the longest, way before COVID-19 hit.
Okay. That
We
part.
was wearing that mask, coping and acting like we was okay. We was quick to put on that church face and be like everything is cool. But in the deep within, we drowning, we dying deep within. So I'm not understanding why the church really didn't like the mask when, let's be real, we was wearing the mask for years. We've been wearing the mask for years before COVID even hit. So it's like, when are we going to take off the mask of being okay? And saying that, oh yeah, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. No, when are we going to take off that mask and be like, you know what? I need a break. When are we
Yeah.
going to take off that mask and be like, you know what? I need rest. Man, my team, Reverend J C3 Studios team, they told me we going on break.
And did.
They told me if it was up to me, we would still be running. They told me we going on break. You need those around you that can tell like you ain't on top of your game. Mm-hmm. And that's why I love y'all. That's why I love y'all. And I know y'all do it again if y'all have to. Mm.
I was telling somebody this the other day. Back in the day, they had testimony services for churches.
Mm-hmm.
Now we don't do that because we want to keep our struggles private and behind closed doors. People are free from other people's testimonies because you make them feel like they're not alone. And when you gatekeep what God has brought you through,
Come on.
you allow people to remain bound. And that's what's missing from the church, the vulnerability, the compassion, and the knowledge to know that you ain't no better than me. The only difference is somebody helped me, so now I need to help you. Once we get our healing or once we get saved, we act like we never was in the same place somebody else was in or worse.
Come on. Mm-hmm.
And that's the problem with the church, and that's why people don't want to come to the church. But I think once we tap into that vulnerability and that compassion again, we probably won't, but I pray that we do. The world would be a better place.
Man, let me tell you, shout out to my church, Orange Chapel Baptist Church. When I tell you every fifth Sunday, we have praise and testimonial service. We still do that every fifth Sunday. When there's a fifth Sunday in the month, we don't have no preaching. We just have praise and testimonial service. And if my pastor feels like we need it, he will do it before a fifth Sunday and be like, yo, this morning, I'm not preaching this morning. We're not having no sermon this morning. We're just going to have praise and testimonial service. And when I tell you those services be more fire, it will be on fire in there. And it's like, man. And when I was younger, I didn't understand it. But it's like, now that I'm older, I get why they be so on fire. They on fire because they on fire because everybody is, yes, them revivals, man. Woo. Man, I love them revivals.
I was going to say that too. When you younger, you don't understand. But when you grow up and lifestyle life, and it's like, oh, that's what that means. Like even the hymns.
Ma'am,
I used to
don't get me started.
Back in the day, I used to sit down and be like, oh, if we sing another hymn. But then as you get older,
them hymns
you don't listen to the music for the you don't listen to the song for the music. You listen to the song for the words. And now it's like that hymnal means something, like blessed assurance, Jesus is mine. Like,
come on,
you you don't understand that until life start life and until you get
Start
to a certain
life,
age, and
man.
that's the only person you got to call. Like it. So when you
That's
younger, it's like, what? Why are they crying?
dude,
This is like,
man. Let me tell you. Before I gave my address a couple of weeks ago, I had my father sing right before I preached. This man came up there and hit him with blessed assurance, Jesus is mine. And when I tell you that whole building was on
yeah,
10
them
at that
hymnals make
moment,
you ugly cry.
and it's like, when I'm like you, when I was younger, I didn't understand it. I'm like, can't we hear some Kirk Franklin? Can't we hear some Charles Scribbett? I'm tired of hearing these songs in this little red hymn book. But now, the blood that Jesus said for me, pass me not, O gentle Savior.
Yeah, that one right there. That one make me
Oh
ugly cry.
man, like
Mm-hmm.
Amazing
But you
Grace
know
will
what?
always be my song of
Don't sleep
praise.
on. I don't want people to misconstrue that, because the people like Todd Tribbett and the Kirk Franklin, because I'm a Kirk
Oh yeah,
Franklin girl. They
right. I am too. I still love them, but
they opened the door for the young crowd to
yes,
get understanding of who God is. But then when you get older, you can't
man,
keep
you need
that
that.
can't be your only like you have to get deeper into the conversation, like in the relationship. Like you got to get a little deeper.
Dude, I still, when work be getting on my nerves, I will bump in some Kirk Franklin real quick. Kirk Franklin and the Family, and out of nowhere, I'll bump in. I've gone through the fire and I've been through the flood. I'm like, yep, that's it. That's what I need to hear right now.
Yeah, that's it right there. I love that. Let me tell you, they make you ugly cry.
Ugly cry.
They make you ugly cry.
Ugly
And you know
cry.
what? There is out now. I love 90s R&B. Don't get me wrong.
Woo!
But you know, as we're talking about healing before your next chapter, there's nothing like a meditation moment with some gospel to really cleanse your spirit before you get into a next chapter, because there's just certain things that nobody can do but God. Like you just have to allow yourself to be immersed in that whole situation to really heal, because just because you haven't touched the thing doesn't mean you healed from it. You're healed from it when it tries to trigger you and you're unmovable, and you can't be unmovable until you are fully in a relationship with God. Breaking the silence, because James need a moment. Breaking the silence says, you do not understand why you are being introduced to God when you're young, but when you become an adult, it makes all sense. Yeah, like how you was talking about your grandmother, Nikki, and the old folks would say, you'll understand by and by. Like you'd be like, what you talking about? By and by means, child, when life start life and time be moving, you're gonna understand by and by what this moment right here mean, and it's gonna be an epiphany moment. You're gonna be like, oh, that's what it is. Like if we had a conversation about those by and by moments, that would probably go viral, because people need to hear it.
They definitely do. It's like sometimes God has to take you to a point to where you don't understand that God is all you need until God is all you have. When God is all you have, you find out he'll be your provider, he'll be your everything. Everything that you need, he's going to be there. Peace of mind, all that. And like at this moment, like those songs be like hitting. Like for me, it's like when I was growing up, like I said, even growing up now, I've been in church my whole life since I was born. Been singing gospel music since I was 5. So I grew up singing a lot of them older songs. And it's like, even now, as the fellas and I are rehearsing, preparing for our 50th anniversary, it's like, even now, those songs that I sung with them when I was about 12, 10, 11, 12 years old, don't mean the same to me now that I'm 34 years old. Them songs hit different now. It's like even in rehearsal, we have to like take a moment because we like, man, because it's like when you go through something, that's when you can be like, okay, yeah. So let's go on to this next question before we start our research up in here.
You know, that's how we do.
Right, right. Look, this is what I love about us. Like y'all, when I tell y'all, this is sure. When did we plan this episode? This shift,
Like 2 minutes beforehand.
little one. Like 2 minutes beforehand, we was just like, all right, Bear, we just shifting. Let's go. And it's like God's like, yeah, I know y'all had y'all so planned, but let me show y'all what I'm about to do. This is season finale, so let me have my way up in here.
Absolutely. And that all comes from having a relationship with God, because you have to be tapped in to trust that even when it's not my way, it's your way. So I know that it's better. So we just gonna ride the wave and we're gonna keep it moving. But how have you handled and how do you handle wounds from past hurts? Because I know you say you're going to therapy now. Have you learned it? What is the word I'm looking for? Have you learned any strategies, any tools to help you navigate now moving forward?
I just started back. Hey Ashley, I just started back. So it's like right now, no, I haven't, because the first session was just like getting to know you, like getting back warmed up. But I already know that the harder discussions are coming because I'm already seeing myself as a husband. I already know that's where I'm headed towards. So if I'm wanting to be a husband, I cannot go into that situation carrying baggage from my childhood, carrying baggage from past hurt, from past relationships. I got to make sure that I set the standard for my relationship, period.
Yeah. So I know for me, journaling has helped me. Shout out to the Verbal Tea Journal Podcast.
Hey, what up, sissy?
Journaling for me has helped me being vulnerable and talking about it. You know, again, growing up, we were taught that a child is supposed to be seen and not heard. And that is wrong. Like, so you grow up holding things in and internalizing things, and that is not good. You know, encourage your children to voice their opinions and their feelings. I'm not saying allow them to be disrespectful now, okay? But I'm saying encourage them to tell you what's going on. Create that safe space, because if you don't create it, they're going to find it somewhere else that is less likely to be warm and inviting. So now that I know better, I do better. So I vocalize how I feel, whether you want to hear it or not. And I understand me. I know that I'm a very emotional person. So what I will do is I will hit you with the SpongeBob and I will head out. Give me about 24 hours.
Man,
let me gather myself.
Look, y'all. Let me tell y'all. She hit me with that SpongeBob once. Straight up hit me with the SpongeBob. I'm blowing up on him up. I ain't getting no answer. I'm like, oh, for real? Okay, bet. She want me to pull up in New Jersey. Say less. Say less. You want me to pull up in New Jersey. If you want me to pull up in New Jersey, just say so. You ain't got to give me signs. Just say so.
Because what I've been used to and what I've been accustomed to, I can't go back to that. So I refuse to allow anything or anyone to pull me back into a place that I've already, what's the word I want to use? You've outgrown. Pretty much. Yeah. So if I feel myself trying to get that Jersey City back, I'm like, no, let me just back up reground myself, listen to my gospel, do my journaling, do what I got to do. And then the next day, level heads will prevail.
Mm-hmm. That
Hey,
next
Toy.
day,
Hey, girl.
hey, Toy. Like that next day, we picked it up like we ain't never left. Like literally. But it was killing both of us. It was killing both of us at 24 hours when we wasn't talking.
Ashley said it's important to understand who you are, your feelings, strengths, weaknesses, etc. The way you know what kind of that way you know what kind of boundaries to set with people. And you know what? That is something that I did not have. And I didn't know I didn't have that until my last relationship. So now that I know, when you know better, you do better.
You do better. Right.
So I have to set those boundaries. And it hurts because, I love people and I love and all the things, but sometimes you have to do what's best for you and prioritize your mental health.
Right. Man, mental health is very important. Prioritizing that. And what we're talking about tonight is healing before your next chapter. What that looks like. It's our season finale, so we're just wrapping it up with this discussion tonight.
So
and
what
mental health
question would
is
you
important.
what question would you not question, what advice would you give to someone who struggles with forgiveness, because forgiveness is also a part of healing?
Number one, forgive yourself. Because let's be real, sometimes we are our own worst critics. We are our own worst enemies. And we got to realize that sometimes it's okay not to be okay. Realize that every day ain't going to be perfect, but that don't mean that today don't have a purpose. Live your life, continue to grow, continue to shine, forgive others. I don't care what they've done to you. You can forgive them, but here's the thing, though. You can forgive them, but that don't give them access back into your life. So that forgiveness is not for that person. That forgiveness is for you. There are people dead right now, sleeping in their grave. There are people holding grudges against people that are dead, sleeping in their grave right now, and they don't even know that they holding that grudge. And you adding less years on your life by sitting here holding a grudge and being mad at somebody for something they did for you 30 years ago. And this person sitting back like, I don't even remember what I did to him. Right. It's for you to move on.
I would say forgiveness is, like you said, I was going to say that it's not about them, it's more about you. Um, you have to understand that while you're festering and you're mad, they sleeping good. They sleeping good at night because they're not worried that you worried. And God could get people way better than you can. So at the end of the day, the best revenge is a happy life. So go and live your
you ain't
life.
never lied. You
Go
ain't
and live
never
your
lied.
life. You don't have to sit there and hold a grudge or whatever the case may be, because 9 times out of 10, them tables is gonna turn, and when they turn, they're gonna be on the other side looking real salty. Because there's a season for everything. So where it may be it looked like it's the up season for them right now, trust and believe it's gonna turn.
Man, I like this. Perfect song. God Forgive Me by James 4:5. Yeah, it is. Nikki, we talked about that last night. We talked about this last night. The footstool. And a lot of times we don't want enemies. We sit here and we're like, Lord, I don't want no enemies. I don't want no enemies. Okay. But here's the thing, 2 things that we miss out on. Number 1, the Lord promised us He was going to prepare us a table in front of our enemies. So in other words, our enemies are going to watch us eat. And then He says, I'm going to make your enemies your footstool. Meaning your enemies are going to sit there and be a footstool for you to get higher and go to that next level that God wants you to go to. So, yeah, that footstool.
Confirmation, Ashley says.
Yeah, it is. It's confirmation for real. All right, let's go to that next question. I'll ask the next one. Can you recall when vulnerability played a significant role in your healing process?
Well, for me, like I said earlier, you have to be fully immersed in the process. You have to feel everything. And that's the problem. We want to pick and choose how we heal. And in order to properly heal, you have to feel everything, every emotion when it happens and ride the wave. It's kind of like when someone has a substance abuse problem and they go to rehab
Mhm.
and they have to go through like this purging moment where they have to wean themselves off of whatever it is that they're addicted to. That's the same thing. That's what healing is like. You're weaning yourself from everything that you are attached to. And that ain't fun nor easy. So you
It
have
looks
to
like
feel
crap.
everything. You have to
Man,
feel
it's like
everything.
pulling that band-aid off. It's literally like pulling the band-aid off. That healing process is like pulling the band-aid off of those old wounds. And anybody that's pulled a band-aid off of those old wounds that's still sore, it be hurting like all get out. That
Or
healing
like they,
process is like stubbing your toe in the middle of the night.
that's the worst. Or,
Mm,
or like they say, in order for something to fully heal, you got to stop touching it. And
mm.
sometimes we like to keep touching those wounds, and that's that's not healthy. And again, that's because you're used to the name or whatever it is. You keep touching it, but at the same time, you got to stop doing that because like I said earlier, the healed version of you is going to be so much better than what you think is good right now. You want good or do you want better?
Better.
Healing
Right,
provides the better. So
right.
you gotta just remember that and go through with it.
And another thing that we got to remember also, a good friend, a mentor of mine, told me this as I was sitting down with him and having a discussion. He told me, you cannot heal in the same place as you've been broken at. And at that moment, I needed to hear it because there was still a part of me that was still running back to the place where I was still broken at because I still enjoyed that thrill of that moment. And it was like, I had to remember all I'm doing is prolonging the healing process. I'm prolonging it because I'm just keeping on putting a band-aid over it. Nothing is gonna change in it until I remove myself from it.
So what about those people who fail to understand that who they're around or what they're doing is the one that is breaking them? Because sometimes, especially in relationships, when you are with a person, you can look at them through love eyes, but at the same time, they're breaking you. It's kind of like holding a rose. You holding it because it's pretty, it smells nice, but if you hold on long enough, them thorns is going to eventually prick you and cause your hands to start bleeding.
Right.
So, what about those people? Do you have signs for those people who struggle with realizing, hey, this ain't no good situation? This is actually what's breaking me. I need to let it go.
When you get to that point to where you feel like you're not accepted there anymore, it's time for you to go. When you get to the point to where you are the smartest person in the room, it's time for you to go. When you get to that point to where you are not learning and growing in that environment, it's time for you to go. When you do more, when you feel like your walk with God is lacking because of you being in that environment, it's time for you to up and go. It comes a point to when, and I've said this before on here and I'll say it again, if it comes to the point to where it's you or me, I'm choosing me every time.
That sounds like a sermon. It's time for you to go. So I think you should work on that one, James.
Don't give me no ideas. Do not give me no ideas, because I got a couple of them coming up. Don't give me no ideas.
For me, I want to say, when it's time to go, when it's heavy, and you know your body, you know your mind, you know yourself. When you feel the heaviness of a thing, when you feel like you're not being yourself, when you feel like you are doing more changing than compromise, it's one-sided, and it's you are making more deposits than you are receiving, like withdrawals, or you're getting more withdrawals than you're getting deposits. That's when it's time to go. Just pouring into whatever situation, whether it's friends or a job or a spouse. If it's taking more out of you than you're giving you, then it's definitely time to let it go.
It's time to go. It's like, I'll give you case in point, and then I'm gonna throw a scenario in here at you, because y'all, for those of you who just came in here, I promised our audience tonight that they're gonna hear those famous words of Sierra Renee. I promise y'all gonna hear it tonight, because I got that scenario cooking. All right, so not the scenario, but the situation that I can really use with that is, like, I had a cell phone for years, where I loved the cell phone because it was paid for. So I wasn't having to pay no bill on a new cell phone. All I was paying for was my phone bill every month. But after a while, it started getting to the point to where I was missing phone calls. It started getting to the point to where it was sending me voicemails whenever it felt like it. It started getting to the point to where I was getting text messages whenever it felt like it. So at that point, it was time to let it go and to get on the anointed Team iPhone, because I was on Android at that point.
Don't start no mess, James, because that's the thing. Team iPhone versus Team Android. Don't start.
I'm just saying, Android is seen, iPhone is Amazon. I mean, but we
I
gonna
thought you was
keep
gonna
that
say no. Android is Temu. iPhone is Shein.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Uh-oh.
Oh Lord, here they go.
You did it. It's your fault. I told you. Always start. Go ahead, James, with your scenario. Let's get this over with.
All right, y'all. I promise y'all, y'all are gonna hear that. Here we go. But y'all gonna hear those famous words, and I am on Team iPhone all day, every day. So, Sarah, here it goes. You come home, and your son tells you, "Mommy, my stepdaddy had another woman up here at the house." They was like,
Remember, this is Real Talk Monday.
Yes,
so,
yes.
Be nice.
Yes. So he tells you the stepdaddy had a woman up in the house. They was laying in the bed. I think they was wrestling, Mommy. And then after they wrestled, she came out and cooked him some food. And she even cooked me something too, Mommy. And her food is better than yours. Sierra Renee, what are you gonna do?
Well, I'm glad that everyone is fed. You're gonna need that when you're waiting in the hospital for hours. So I'm gonna tell him to go put his headphones on and go in the room and play his game as loud as he's gonna play, because mommy and stepdaddy about to start wrestling too. But this one gonna be a tables and chairs match. And then after we finish wrestling, the ambulance is gonna come. And then once the ambulance is gonna come, stepdaddy gonna be taken to the hospital for a checkup. And then after that, we're gonna go take a trip to go see Nana indefinitely. And we out. That's how I'm gonna answer it.
Dang it, dang it, dang it, dang it. I thought I had you on that one.
Nope. Told you. You want that Jersey City to come out of me. Nope. Nope.
Look at Carla.
I mean, because first of all, the only reason why, and let me tell you, the only reason why he's taking a trip to the hospital is because you did this raggedy mess in front of my son. Like, at the end of the day, if you're going to cheat and you want to cheat, that's your business. I know who I am. The old me, I'd have been crying my shit, could have, would have. Now, I know who I am. I know what I bring to the table. So if you want less than me, go ahead. Because I promise you, you're going to look like what's face on Why Did I Get Married when you get your 20.
Not the 20.
You wanted a 20. So that's what you want. Go ahead. But what you not finna do is you not finna do the shenanigans in front of my son. So that's why you got to go to the hospital.
All right. I guess it's only fair. Go on ahead.
Nah, I ain't got no scenario. I ain't got no scenario.
Wait.
Ashley said, I am
like
dressing in my black attire. Take my son to his grandma's house. Come back to the house. Eveline and Daddy will have a nice conversation. I'm trying to tell you, that's what's gonna happen.
Not Eveline.
That's what's gonna happen. I tell y'all, the biggest
wait.
is
So they ain't gonna. Your husband ain't gonna get Tinkerbell that night, Ashley. It's gonna be Eveline.
Yeah, I don't think you want Eveline. Tinkerbell is at level 5. Eveline, that's a level.
It's like 105. No, that's 105.
Y'all know Eveline. Eveline is from the Wiz. Yeah, you don't want that. You don't want that. That sauce. That's
Eveline, like, oh, okay, he want to play. Bet. But you all, we appreciate y'all so much for rocking with us. So as we come to a close tonight, Sarah, tell them a little bit about what you got going on during this break that we about to take, to where they can find you at and where they can expect to see some great things from A Blemished Beauty.
No Tinkerbell that night, Ashley said. Okay, you guys. So you can, during this break, I should say, let's say it how James said it. During this break, you can connect with me on my podcast, the Blemished Beauty Podcast, every Tuesday and Thursday. The audio airs on midnight Eastern Standard Time. And then if I'm interviewing, it will premiere at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can also follow me on YouTube. I'm going to be doing some guest appearances on different shows. And I am the co-host to The Verbal Tea as well. So you can follow us on Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Facebook and on YouTube and Spotify.
Facts. You all can definitely follow me on Weapons HC3 Studios. During this break, you won't see much from me. Conversations with Kings will still be going on. We still gonna drop some conversations on there. We got some great shows coming for y'all on that. And if you are in the Glasgow, Cave City, Bowling Green, Nashville, Horse Cave, Louisville, any of those areas, last Sunday in August at 5 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, come on out to the Orange Chapel Missionary Baptist Church in Cave City, Kentucky, where Reverend Dr. E.A. Duke is our pastor, and celebrate with the gospel messengers as we celebrate 50 years of singing God's praises. So y'all don't want to miss that. We're doing some oldies but some goodies. And I promise y'all, when we come back from this break, you're going to see a lot of different things. It's going to be for the betterment of the brand. I promise y'all that. We're working on some things right now as we speak. And if you think of anything that you want to see us do, you can always email me at j23glover@gmail.com, or you can email the studio email, which I will put in the comments at the end of the show. That way you all can have that. But if you have a pen by you, it is webjc3studios@gmail.com. So you can definitely email us there. And if you feel like being a blessing to us, you can always cash app us at RevJC3 Studios. So we appreciate you all. So we'll see y'all next season. Bye.